All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to unpack one single but incredibly powerful verse from the Quran that really lays out the whole foundation for fasting in Islam. We're going to break down the rules, the compassion built into them, and the deep wisdom you can find in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 184. So let's start by taking a look at the verse itself. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the verse in its original Arabic, with an Urdu translation below it. For this breakdown, we're going to focus on the English meaning. It goes like this: the fasts are for a limited number of days. So whoever among you is sick or on a journey, then an equal number of days are to be made up later. And upon those who can fast only with extreme difficulty, a ransom is payable, the feeding of a needed person. But whoever does good of his own accord, it is better for him. And to fast is better for you, if you only knew.
So where does it all begin? Well, the verse kicks things off by setting up the foundation. It frames the whole obligation not as some open-ended thing, but as something very specific and, well, manageable.
And this first phrase, it's absolutely crucial. It immediately tells us, hey, this isn't forever. It's for a specific, counted number of days. That simple statement provides so much reassurance and clarity right from the get-go. It's a defined period, not an endless hardship.
Okay, so once that rule is set, what comes next? Well, this is where we get to see the core principle of ease and flexibility in action. The verse immediately starts talking about real-world challenges, showing just how much mercy is built right in.
And here they are, the two main exemptions, being sick and traveling. What's so interesting is how both of these situations, which are genuine hardships, are handled with the exact same solution. It's not about just forgetting the fast, it's about adapting to your circumstances.
So here's the key takeaway, right? The obligation isn't just waived, it's postponed. This does two things. It maintains the importance of fasting, but it also provides a compassionate, practical way for you to fulfill it when things get better. It's a perfect balance of discipline and understanding.
But the verse goes even deeper. Because, not all difficulties are temporary like a short trip or a passing illness. So it introduces this compassionate alternative for people who might be facing a more constant struggle.
I mean, it's the natural next question, isn't it? What happens if the difficulty isn't just for a few days? What if fasting itself is just always a massive challenge, maybe because of old age or a chronic condition? Well, the verse gives us a direct answer.
And the solution is this concept called fidya. You can think of it as a ransom or a form of compensation. The verse is incredibly specific about what this means. It's about providing a meal for a person in need for every single day of fasting you have to miss.
Let's just break that down to make it super simple. First, this is for a very specific group of people, those for whom fasting is a significant, ongoing hardship. Second, the action is crystal clear. For every fast missed, one person in need gets fed. This is amazing because it transforms a personal act of devotion into a direct act of community care.
So, after laying out all these clear rules and alternatives, the tone of the verse kind of shifts. It moves from talking about what you have to do to encouraging us to think about the spirit behind the action.
This phrase right here is so powerful. It's basically an open invitation. The minimum requirement is to feed one person, right? But what if you decide to feed two, or provide an even better meal? The verse says that doing that extra good completely voluntarily is even better for you.
You see what this does? It elevates the whole thing. It stops being about just checking a box. It becomes an opportunity for your own spiritual growth, a chance to be more generous. It's inviting you to go beyond the letter of the law and really embrace its spirit.
And finally, after all the rules, the exemptions, and all the encouragement, the verse wraps everything up with one profound statement that really reframes everything we've just learned.
And this is the final word. After providing all these merciful ways out for people in difficulty, the verse gently brings our focus right back to fasting itself. It suggests that the act holds a benefit, a goodness that we might not even see on the surface.
So let's just do a quick recap of everything this one verse taught us. It starts with a clear, defined rule. Then it gives us merciful exemptions for temporary hardships and a compassionate alternative for ongoing ones. It encourages us to be voluntarily good and generous. And then it concludes by reminding us that the act of fasting itself, when we're able to do it, is profoundly good for us. And that leaves us with this final, really thought-provoking question, doesn't it? That last part of the verse, if you only knew, invites us to reflect beyond just the physical act. What are those hidden benefits, the spiritual, the mental, the communal benefits that we unlock through this practice? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.